Hello guys, okay, so the neck is at least temporarily fitted to the body at this point. Good enough for me to carry on with. I won't do any gluing until much further down the road. So I'll show you what I came up with by way of fixing it. So I used an offcut of an ebony fingerboard from a previous project, which was just the right size or just the right length, and it was the right thickness in the sense that it fits in the groove here, and it is sunk into the back of the neck by about 1 millimeter or 2. And then I screwed the ebony onto the neck. Then I put the whole thing into the pocket, and I put 2 screws on here just to hold it in while I do the rest of the work. And so here it is from the other side. You see the ebony tongue comes all the way down to the end of the pickup cavity, and then it's screwed through from the back. Obviously I'll cut off these screws, and then I'll just do a quick check to see that there's enough depth for the pickup, and if it is, then this will do for now. And I can carry on with lining up the bridge and the tail piece, and go from there. Okay, I'd say we're good with pickup height here, so it's not going to foul the ebony plug on the bottom, and if anything I'll need to raise them up. So I'm not quite sure what pickup surround I'll use yet. This one I think is bulkier and hides more, but this one might look nicer if I can line everything up properly. One thing I had to do is make a plug to fill the gap here. One to support the pickup guard, and 2 to make sure there wasn't a gap here and stuff would fall in and make a mess. Okay, so I think we're good in terms of the overall setup here for installing the pickups later. Actually, when I routed this cable through the hole here into the rear cavity, I just realized the hole which goes from here into the original control cavity, I'm going to have to drill another hole here to go over to where the new cavity is for the controls. So another something I mustn't forget to do. And to drill the hole between the pickup cavity and the control cavity, well, you kind of need one of these, which is an extra long shaft drill. Well, a little bit of a screw up here, so I'm not too proud, I'll admit. So drilling from the other side, you got to get the trajectory right, so you come out somewhere in this vicinity, and also you have to get the angle right, so that you don't come out too high up or too low down. I got the angle wrong. I came out, trajectory was spot on, but the angle was too high. And so it started to come out before we got to the control cavity. So hey, luckily I caught it just before it got seriously out and made a huge hole here. So we'll just put a hardwood dowel in here, we'll glue it up and sand it off, and we'll carry on. So while I'm waiting for this glue to dry here, another thing I thought about is the thickness of the blank here and the depth of this cavity. So how much wood is left here, and is there too much to take a regular pot, because a regular pot is like this, and so you have about basically 10 mil here of thread. So I did the measurements. This thing is 35 mil thick, and that's 20 mil deep. So we have 15 mil of wood left here, so this trim pot's not going to work. There's too much wood here. So probably what I'm going to use is these guys. So if you're doing Les Paul type guitars, because of the carved upper surface of the body there, you need special pots of varying thickness. So fortunately it looks like I have 4 of these, so I'm going to use the 4 of these, and hopefully we'll be okay. The alternative would be to have to route this thing down deeper. Okay, belay that. We're not out of the hole yet, because even though these guys will work fine for the pots, I also have to fit a pickup selector switch and a jack socket. And unfortunately these guys are going to need like about a 5mm clearance, or they'll only cope with about a 5mm depth material. So it looks like I'm going to have to take this cavity a lot deeper than it is. Okay, I've mocked it up with fitting the controls. Oh, whoops. So everything fits in. It's going to be nice and tight, but then there's a little trick for how you solder all that up without making a mess, which we'll get to much further down the road. So while I was rummaging for hardware, I went and rummaged around and found a set of tuners. They're really good quality ones, but they may be a tad too heavy, because one of the problems with this guitar in general is everything is so light that if you put really heavy tuners on it, the guitar will tend to fall over. So when you just strap it over your shoulder, the neck will tend to fall down, which is not really good. But hey, this is not going to be a gigging guitar or anything serious. This is just going to be a mess around at home type guitar. So I think rather than incur any additional cost, we'll run with these for now, and then we'll see how that goes later. Okay, it looks like we'll have to pause here for a little while, because I thought I had everything I need in terms of hardware, but I don't. So I have the bridge, but I don't have the mounting posts for it. And I have the mounting post for the tailpiece, but I don't have a tailpiece. I have other tailpieces, but they don't quite fit here. So I have to order up some bits and pieces. So I'll have to order up the posts that go with this bridge, and a tailpiece. So I think that'll do for now. When those parts come in, we'll get back to it.